Vala stood looking through the small barred window into the stable stall. Samantha sat there, hands and feet lashed together, head inclined, straight blonde hair concealing her face. The rest of the children were held in the remaining stalls, 2 or 3 in some, but Vala had insisted Samantha be kept alone. When the children had been transported here, a throng of townspeople had gathered around the wagons used to haul the young ones to the stables. Many of the citizens had grown violent, and much of their ire was directed at Vala. But Bellic they trusted, and it was his counsel that had averted catastrophe, for the time being at least. The people waited outside the stables even now. Vala could hear the echoing din of their curses and lamentations. Bellic had just finished speaking to them. They wanted to know why this is happening. Why the children? Vala opened the stall door, stepped inside, and kneeled in the dry straw. "Lock the door behind me." "But..." "Do it!" As she heard the latch being slid into place, Vala parted Samantha's hair. She tilted the girl's chin up. The little one's eyes were closed. The blonde hair, the fair skin, reminded her so much of Alyssa. She thought of how Alyssa's face always lit up at the sight of her older sister. She thought of Alyssa's bright, inquisitive eyes and boundless energy. Vala could not show weakness to the healer, but now a wave of nausea rolled through her, a tide of sadness and disgust. And suddenly, Vala felt very tired in both body and soul. She remembered her village in Westmarch. She remembered her family. She fought back the rapidly unfolding memories of the massacre, when she herself had been little more than a child. The same flashes that plagued her night after night, screams of the dead and dying. Blood, a demon claw swiping at her neck, but cutting her jaw instead. Running, Alyssa's hand in hers, hiding near the river, and later being found by others who had suffered similar fates, learning of the demon hunters, being mentored by Josen, remade into an avatar of vengeance, a weapon forged to strike at the heart of darkness. Vala had been absently rubbing the scar on her jaw. She leaned close now to Samantha. "Speak, demon." Vala waited. No response. "Do not play coy with me. This is a game you cannot win. Your only hope is to be sent back to your light-cursed master, to pray that perhaps the hells will show you mercy, because I will not. Now speak your name." Samantha did not stir. Lowering the girl's head, Vala rose and stood at the barred window. "Healer! You asked if there was a reason this demon chose the children, and I tell you yes. This pathetic wretch of hellspawn chose young ones because it is weak, and fledgling are vulnerable. Easy prey for the scum that begs for scraps discarded by its master." Bellic was standing just inside Vala's view. He stared at her, eyebrows raised. Vala felt it then, movement behind her, accompanied by the faintest sound. The sawyer's daughter turned to see the girl standing on her toes, back arched, head tucked against her shoulder. Her hair had fallen from a face broken out in veins. Her eyes wide, unfocused, bloodshot. When her mouth opened, it seemed almost to struggle in forming the words at first. Then, "Do not turn them back, oh prideful one!" The voice was a loud, grating strain, like a continuous intake of breath. "Seek you stand before me." The girl's head whipped from one shoulder to the other. "Such reaching exceeds your grasp. Sub-creature, a distraction nonetheless I might find amusing. Release me, then and see." Vala drew a blade. Bellic protested, his hand pressed tight against his ears, lips quivering. Vala appeared not to notice as she severed the bonds holding Samantha. "Let us see indeed." Settling back on her feet, the child took 2 halting steps. Vala moved to the side, and the girl lurched forward to stand before the bar door, her head rotated, chin rolling over her shoulders, vacant eyes staring. Vala called to Bellic. "Unlock the door!" Bellic's eyes shot back and forth between Samantha and Vala. "Is it safe?" "No harm will come. I'll see to it." After an instant's hesitation, Bellic did as he was instructed. The girl, chin to her chest, and hair hanging so that it was impossible for her to see where she walked, nonetheless proceeded unerringly into the stable. Bellic gave her a wide berth, and then he and Vala followed as the girl passed the first stalls where the other children were held. To their right, the older girl who had hefted the stone earlier stood at the door, grasping the bars, and when she spoke, it was the gushing voice of a demon.
"I am Festus. I am the infiltrator, procurer, herd of the wretched, and flayer of everything damned."
Bellic glanced about in horror, his palms pressed once against his ears as Samantha shuffled on. The boy who had dragged his sword in the street pulled himself up to peer through the window on the other side, the voice continuing, issuing now from his mouth.
"The former gatherer, infliciter, the throat of the silent scream."
Another child spoke from the stall on Samantha's right.
"The ferryman of lost dreams, shattered hope, and withering despair."
At the final stall appeared the smith's son. There was a bloody vacancy where his front teeth had once been.
"The ready right hand of terror, the inward staring eye, know me, and know the unspeakable."
Bellic stayed close to Vala as Samantha stepped out into the sunlight. Vala exited behind her, pushed back her hood, and forced her way through the gathered crowd. "Make room, all of you! Bellic, a hand!" The townspeople pressed in, questioning, accusing. Bellic shouted for the throng to make way as Samantha staggered forward. Bella parted the crowd ahead of the little girl, who continued on. Her movements were erratic, spasmodic at some points, yet graceful and almost liquid at others. The knot of people proceeded past the shops on the eastern edge of town. Samantha sped up her pace, and several of the townspeople fell behind. Bellic gasped for air, his face red with exertion. They had made their way along the desolate stretch of dirt road, little more than a path out into the fields beyond. Samantha stumbled out onto a patch of dead grass, stopped, turned. Her head straightened, and the demon's Gale's beak burst forth once again.
"Seek you to stand before me? Then come."
The girl grinned slowly. But when she spoke next, it was with the voice of only a child, of little Samantha Halfstaff.
"Can we play roughhouse together?"
Without warning, the girl's eyes closed, her body went limp and collapsed. Bella rushed forward and leaned close to make sure Samantha still lived. She could hear the child's breath. Most of the town people who had fallen behind caught up now, circling the demon hunter. Bellic stood nearby, steadying his breath. Vala looked up as if expecting the demon to fall out of the sky. Then she looked down. She took note of the blighted grass, running her fingers over it. It spread out over a large expanse, stretching far and tapering on either side, forming the general shape of a massive eye. There were black spots throughout as well, demonic contamination. "Healer, what's below us?" Bellic's eyes lifted. "Nothing."
"That ain't exactly so."
Both Vala and Bellic turned to one of the observers, a rotund farmer with a bushy white mustache.
"The river bushin' will be right here, about underneath our feet."
Bellic watched Vala, and whether or not it was a strike of the light, he was unsure. but it seemed that she had gone slightly pale. "But I heard the river as I rode in last night. I hear it faintly even now." The mustached farmer brow dipped in what appeared to be a mild annoyance.
"That ain't the real Busham. Just a channel dug out by the settlers ages ago, meant to divert the water, 'cause the real Busham flows out of Medful Mountains."
The farmer turned and pointed northeast.
"And pretty soon comes to a sinkhole. Then it goes underground, runs through these parts deep below for quite a ways, before coming back up 2 days' journey to the west."
Vala scanned the immediate surroundings. "No well?"
"Soil outside the town's fertile enough, but the ground right here is harder than iron. Easy for old-timers to dig the channel."
Vala sighed as she replied, "This sinkhole and the place where the river resurfaces. There are no other ways to get down there?"
The farmer spat. "Nope."
"And where is the sinkhole?"
The farmer nodded towards the mountains. "About half a day that way."
Bellick peered at Vala inquisitively. "So, what now?" The sawyer's daughter raised her hood and swept the crowd with her gaze. "Stay here. Stay together. There is strength in numbers. Take Samantha back to the stables. Bind and lock away any other children under 16 summers." She looked again to Bellick. "And get me my horse, so I can go and kill your demon."